God is good.
All the time.
Okay, we're done. I'm moved to say this, and it's not really part of what I was thinking about it, but God, I offer myself to thee to build with me and do with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do thy will. Take away my difficulties, so that I may bear witness to those I would help of your love, your power, and your way of life. May I do thy will always. It's a beautiful prayer, and it requires surrender. And I'm not really one to do that, so I'm going to talk about something else. So today I'm going to use a metaphor, and we all know that metaphors usually have holes in them. So if you're hypercritical or over-intellectual, just let it go. Because there's going to be little holes in this, but it's okay. You know, every journey has to begin where we are. That's it, you know, like, it seems like really simple to say that, but it's the truth. We cannot be where we are not. And everything that has happened to us has brought us to the place that we are right now. So everything, absolutely everything that has happened from the moment that you were born to this moment right now is required for you to be in this room. And that's kind of awesome if you think about it. And sometimes a little intimidating. So here's the metaphor. Imagine that you're in a train station. Okay? You can picture 30th Street Station over there, or some equivalent huge, gigantic place. Now, multiply that by 100, and then 1,000. And this train station just goes on forever, and there are multitudes of people wandering around in the train station. And there are restaurants to eat in and restrooms to relieve yourselves in. And sometimes there's places where you can sleep, whether it's on a bench or there's maybe a hotel attached to the train station you can get on there. And you're wandering around this train station. We're all wandering around this train station interacting with the people that we run into. Right? And there are people who are just perfectly, you know, there's jugglers in this train station, there are dancers in this train station, there are wandering troubadours in this train station, entertaining the people who are wandering around in this train station, you know, before they either do or don't go on a journey. Now, many people choose to just wander around in the train station because their needs are met. They have some place to go and eat. They have some place to go and relieve themselves. They have some place to sleep. They even, you know, decide to raise families in the train station. And here we are running around in the train station with this multitude of people. Now, if you're an observant person, you'll notice that occasionally people will, like, emerge out of one of the entrances to the platforms. And they look a little different. They've been on a journey. And they maybe talk to you, and you listen to these people, and they tell you of the wondrous places they have been. And maybe somewhere along the line, you get this idea, maybe I want to take a trip. But where am I going? You know, and then you notice, here you are, you've been living in this train station all your life, gathering experiences along the way that you've gone. Maybe you've traveled before, maybe you haven't. It doesn't really matter, you're still in the train station. And you look up, and there's that big board. Now down at 30th Street Station, it goes every time the trains change. Right, something comes in, it flips the board and rolls up. If you happen to be at Port Authority, it's a little different. It's just lights change places and all that kind of stuff. Wherever your train station is, there's a list of destinations that you could go to. Train 127, success. Right? Train 254, relationship. You know, ad infinitum for your destinations that you would go to. And you're looking down the list and saying, wow, look at all those places I could go. Do I have everything I need? Do I have my bag packed? Do I have my money? Do I have what I need to get to where I want to go? And you're looking at the destinations. Will this get me that far? And you're looking down this list of all these destinations, and way down at the bottom of the list, there's this one that says Enlightenment. Now, while you're sitting in this train station, you've got to make a choice. There's a question you have to ask yourself. Now, you know what enlightenment means? To understand. That's one definition. Another definition of enlightenment is to be free of preconceptions and prejudices and false beliefs. So a lot of us say, well, forget the Enlightenment, I'm going with success. And we get on the success train and we go to college and we go do whatever schooling we need. We get all the tools that we need and then we run around doing all the gathering that we need to do to be a success. However we or somebody else defines that. And we spend a lot of time on that train getting there. Perhaps it's relationships, you know? So you go see your shrink. You get rid of your own devils so that you can go be loving in another relationship so you can help somebody else get rid of their devils. And continue on. And finally you get to your destination of relationship and you're in love. It's a wonderful thing. You know, and this goes on for all those other destinations that you could pick. But if you have the choice, you know, something in you is calling. So maybe I got success already, been on that trip. Or at least talk to somebody who has, who came out of the train, off the platform and said, what was that like? And they told you all about it and you said, maybe not for me. You know, maybe I don't want to be responsible in that way. You know, or any one of those other destinations. You've either been there or you've heard somebody who's been there and they've told you either how wonderful, how not wonderful it was. But there's something inside us that is ultimately calling to enlightenment. There is something inside us that is ultimately calling for freedom from fear, from want, from lack and limitation, from false beliefs. Because all along our journey inside the train station, we've been collecting beliefs about what it is out there that this thing will be. I remember along my personal journey at one point, I said, I don't want enlightenment. You have got to be kidding me. Because with absolute freedom comes absolute responsibility. I can't point to them anymore and say, they done it to me. I did it to me. Because I accept the responsibility of absolute freedom of choice. But somewhere along the line, it may be in this time, and if you believe in reincarnation, it may be in many lifetimes, your soul will get to the point of the call towards freedom, towards the release of false beliefs. Buddha says this is the release of desires, the cause of all suffering. Our desires, our unmet desires. That rung so true for me, you know, that when I really looked at it, this desire for success, this desire for, well, everything, materialism, power, whatever it may be, for me or for you, for whatever those desires are. That desire was what was causing my suffering, because if I didn't feel that I achieved it, and even when I did achieve it, it wasn't what I expected, so I suffered the disillusionment of not having gotten what I thought I wanted. Or, worse yet, having gotten exactly what I thought I wanted and then discovering I didn't really want it. Because that was not the place I wanted to be. So, here you are in the train station, and finally, at whatever stage your soul is, enlightenment becomes the objective. And so you go and sit down on the bench. I've chosen my destination. Yep. You've chosen your destination. Have you bought the ticket yet? No, okay, so you've chosen enlightenment, and something has moved you beyond the purple pillow to say, I can't just sit here and think about this, I actually have to do something and figure out what this is all about. So you walk up to the ticket counter and you shell out your dollars, and you go and you take a class, or you take you find a guru, or you find something that inspires you to be a better you, and you pay, and you get on the, and you know, so now you got your ticket. I got my ticket. And you go and sit back down on the bench. How many have done this? Yeah, man, I bought the ticket and said, that's nice, I'm going back over here. Heck, I became a practitioner of science of mind. And turned around and sat back down on the bench and said, that's fine, come to me, I'll pray for you. No problem, done deal, you know? Yet the call came back that said, this is not enough. Because at some point, there is a yearning for all of us to reunite with the spirit that is in all of us, that is expressing through at us in each and every moment. And that's that call that takes us saying, oh, okay, I got my ticket, maybe I ought to go to the platform. You know? And so we begin our journey and we actually get on this train. Go down there, we wait, the train pulls up, doors open. They always do that. You step onto the train, drag your luggage behind you. Sorry. How many times has your luggage bounced into somebody else, huh? Put your luggage up on top. Oh, boy, that's heavy. Sit right under it. The train starts pulling out. You notice there's a couple other people on this train, right? It's not full yet. There's just a couple other people on the train. And you're looking at it and you're wondering, wow, I didn't notice. Did I take the local or the express? Oh my, it's a local. Okay, so my train to Enlightenment is going to have a lot of stops along the way. Right? So, I thought it was there. No, just the next stop. A couple people get off, they're going to go see what's on that platform. Right? A couple people get on, they've already seen what's on that platform. Train takes off again. Away you go. You're looking out the doors, or out the windows, right? When you're sitting next to it. And there's all this scenery going by, and there's cities going by, and there's bad things going by, and there's good things going by. And there's beautiful sunsets and sunrises, and you get on this train, and it keeps going, and you know, you think you're almost there, and you're feeling like you had all this time to sit and think about where you are in life while you're sitting on the train. You ever notice that trains are very good for thinking? You're sitting there going, it's kind of meditative. Hint, hint. It's kind of meditative. And so we look in the introspection of where we have been, and we release those beliefs and what we had, and we start to take on new sights and new sounds and new beliefs of a greater world and a greater love and a greater wisdom that is available to us right now. And occasionally there's somebody there on the train who's going in the same direction. We talk to them and there's confirmation. Yeah, I did that stop. It was lousy. Don't get off there. You know, save yourself some time. Just go on to the next one. You know. And so we get to, it's like this whole journey is this wonderful train trip, and you meet people and you grow fond of them and you love them. And then you get to a station. And they get off. And we feel sorrow at their loss, at our loss of their presence. And then the doors go tss, and away you go again. And so this goes on through our lifetime. You know, when you're on the journey of enlightenment, you're on the right train. Conductors come by, picked up your ticket, said, yep, this is the train to enlightenment. Here. And you continue on. And then it seems like this journey's taken an awful long time. Remember, you got on the local. You know? You could have taken the express. Not many people really want to take the express. You see, what people don't tell you about taking the express train to enlightenment is that it requires everything you have. It requires that you shell out every dime that you have at the ticket booth. It requires that you leave your baggage behind on this platform. It requires you to let go of everything now. Not many people really want to do that. See, life is pretty fun. You know? Life is an absolutely wonderful journey. And here we are, we get to stop at these little way stations and check out these little things going on and continue on and move on. Some people haven't even left the station yet, honestly. You know? But there you are in this beautiful experience of taking the journey on the train to enlightenment. And, you know, the problem is that if you really want to be enlightened on the express train, you're going to have to give up everything you got right now. Because what you've been doing to now is the local. Now, I'm not ready to get on the express train. I'm telling you that. You know, honest to goodness. I like the local. You know? It's got its little backwater stations that I end up in on occasion. But on the whole, the journey is pretty fun, and I'm not really ready to go up to the mountaintop and say, goodbye, no more trains needed here. You know? So what happens is ultimately each soul will reach enlightenment. That's the nature of our life. We're just in this human experience because we're one with the one. And we're just on the journey back to the absolute realization that that one is all that there ever was, will be, or is now. And that we're a part of that. And when we realize it, my assumption is that when you realize that, here is just a choice. You know? And so in the meantime, we've all chosen to be here. So that express train is for some. You know, some want that. And most of us just want to be a little better off than we were before. Have a little bit more peace, a little bit more love, a little bit more money, you know. And that's okay too. Because this is ultimately a playground, you know, for what we do in this life, to learn about our oneness with the one. So ultimately, whether you take the local or the express, your train is going to pull into its destination. And here's the wonderful vision. Okay? The doors open. Get your baggage down. Hey, it's a lot lighter than it used to be. But I lose along the way. Anyway, you go back. I'm sorry about that. Get off the train. Walk out. And there you are at the station. Except you're the one getting off the train, talking to the person who says, "Where's this train go?" Says, "Wait until you hear this story. I have seen cities and good things and bad things and sunrises and sunsets and all of the experiences of the little way stations along the way that have brought me to this moment now, to be sitting in this room now." Namaste.